Okay, folks, we're going to change the outer tie rod on this 2003 Nissan Altima. It's the passenger side tie rod that's bad. So I'm going to go ahead and start this project by taking this tire off right here. To take this tire off, you need a 21 millimeter socket. And I already loosened the bolts. So we're going to go ahead and get these bolts off here. Put the tire over there, out the way. Kind of hard when you trying to use the camera. Let me show you what I'm working with here. It's this tie rod right here. It's you can tell that it's bad. You can tell when the tie rod's bad. Let me grab my light. You can tell when the tie rod bad is when you see all that goop coming out, and you can move this thing like this. It twists back and forth like that. It's not supposed to do that. And the boot is ripped, and you can see all that stuff coming out of it. So first thing I gotta do is take out this cotter pin, straighten it out. Some people take needle nose pliers to do that. I was able to do it with my hand. And you want to get this bolt loose right here. This nut, we're gonna have to break that nut loose. So let me get the wrench for that. Okay, to loosen up this nut here, you're gonna need a 22 millimeter wrench, and you pull up on it to loosen it. That's what you basically want to do. These things be hard sometimes. There you go. So once you get it loose, just leave it like that for the time being. You don't want it too loose because you don't want to set the alignment off too much, because after this job you might have to get a weird alignment anyway. But if you don't disturb this bolt too much, you might get away with it. So the next thing to do here now is, after I take that collar pin out, I'm going to loosen that castle nut up under there. Loosen that castle nut up right there. Okay, this castle nut, take out this castle nut, you're going to need a 19 millimeter socket to put on there and take that nut off. Okay, after taking that castle nut off, you have to get this tie rod out of this stern knuckle hole, and it's stuck in there. It's stuck in the hole there, and you got to break it loose. In order to break it loose, some people take a hammer and hit it right here on the stern knuckle right there, and it breaks it loose and make it come out. Some people take a what they call a pickle fork and put it in between here, in between the stern knuckle and the tie rod, and pop it loose. And some people just go up under there with a hammer and knock this bolt up because you're not going to use this tie rod anymore anyway. So you might as well go ahead and knock it loose. A lot of people don't do it because they afraid they're going to mess up these strips here on this tie rod, but you're not going to use it again, so you might as well pop it loose. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop it loose. Okay, folks, as you see here, I tried to pop it loose from underneath, but I had to whack it here, like I say, a couple of times to break it loose, and then I was able to pop it up. But when I hit it there a couple of times, it popped loose anyway. And I could have used my pickle fork right here, but I didn't use it. And the pickle fork will go in between, like I say, the stern knuckle and the tie rod. See how it raises it up? But it would be still stuck, and you knock the pickle fork in there like that, and it'll pop it up. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't use that pickle fork. So, all right, now that I got it out, take the thing over here and take it over here. Then you just twist it off. Twist your tie rod off. Some people say count it, and okay, I'm not gonna count it because this nut is where I'm gonna put my new one back up against that bolt right there, that nut right there. So I'm gonna take it off. But some people say count it, like this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, until you get it off. That way you know how many repetitions to put it back on. Like you end up with 17, then you twist it back on with 17 repetitions, and it'll get right back up to that bolt. So that's the old tie rod, which is all banged up. You can see right there. And I'm getting ready to put on this new tie rod. So there's your new tie rod. It comes with a new castle nut and a new cotter pin, brand new cotter pin to put on. Another thing I wanted to tell you is, if you wanted to know, that's your outer tie rod I took off. This is your inner tie rod. This is an inner tie rod right here. This going in and up in there to the rack and pinion. It hooks up to the rack and pinion. So if you want to know if this bad, you grab this and you push it back and forth. If you hear a pop in there, it's loose, then that inner tie rod is bad too. But it's nothing popping, it is not really moving. So that inner tie rod is good. So we're not gonna bother that. All right. So we're gonna put this new tie rod on. And like I say, you just twist it on in there until you get to the nut. And you don't want to really disturb that nut too much. Once you get up to it, you want to stop. Might be able to turn it one more time. Yeah, right there. Okay, that'll do it. And let me take this new castle nut off. Then you put the new tie rod in the stern knuckle here, the stern knuckle hole right there. Might have to move it up some. Put it in the new stern knuckle hole. New stern knuckle hole. Boom, it's in there. So then once you get it in, you put your new castle nut in there. and tighten it up. Once you get your capsule nut on there, make sure you can see through it, through that hole right there. It's a hole. You want to line that up, and you want to tighten it up. Make sure you can see through and see that hole, through that hole, so you can put your cotter pin through there. You want to take your cotter pin and put it in from the other side here, and get it in there real good. See, it went right through. Then you want to bend these that cotter pin. It's hard to do with this camera here. Hold on, let me bend it for you. Okay, I was able to start it. I bent one side. You bend it all the way back to the side back there. Then you want to take the other side and bend that over to the side also. That'll keep the bolt end from falling down. It's like security. And all of that set is secured to the stern knuckle. Then you want to go back up here and tighten up this bolt. So you want to tighten up this bolt. Make sure it's nice and tight, snug. You know, till you can't twist it no more. And that's pretty much how you replace a tie rod, an outer tie rod. Pretty much on any car, but that's how you do it right there. So let me put this tie back on this vehicle and complete the job. Okay, and anytime you putting the tie back on any car, you want to tighten it up in a cross-like pattern, like a star. You want to go down, back up that way, over this way, and back up that way. That's how you want to tighten up a tie on any car. So you want to pretty much hand tighten it first. And when you got it like that, you want to drop the car onto his wheel. And once you get the tie down, you want to tighten it up real tight so the tie won't fall off. You don't want to tighten it too tight where you can't get the bolts back off, but you want to tighten it tight enough where the tie won't come off. So that's pretty much completed that tie rod job on this 2003 Nissan Altima tie rod installation.